Do you wonder if you should break the style rules? Well, that is one of the questions I received. Hi, I'm Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style, and today's style questions. The first one comes from Fiona. She said, how do I know when and how to bend style rules while still staying true to myself? So when we think about style rules, there are some colour rules that we might know of, which is blue and green should never be seen. Don't wear black and navy together. You shouldn't, there's certain colours that don't go together. So one of the things that people often ask me about colours is how do I mix colours? They feel like they don't know how to mix them. The reality is when you have a palette of colours where the colours have the same colour properties, you'll actually find it really easy to mix colours together. Now, these colours and these colours don't go together. But these ones all go together and these ones go together. So it makes it really easy to mix colours together. So blue and green, you can see blue and green, they actually look great together here. And these blues and greens work together. What we don't want to do is mix the cool ones with the warm ones. What we want to do is keep them the same undertone. Also, we want to have them the same intensity, so the same brightness or mutedness as well. So you might even notice with the neutrals in these palettes that these neutrals do not go as well with these colours and these neutrals do not work with these colours. So what we want to do is make sure we are choosing the right undertone and the right value. So if black is a colour you can wear, there's no reason why you can't put navy with it. I would just have a navy that is more a mid navy rather than a really dark navy because there's not enough of a difference between that, but no reason why not to. Blue and green should always be seen. Pink and orange, if they are warm, go beautifully well together. What we don't want to do though is try and mix a cool pink with a warm orange because they just don't go in the same way. We want to have the same undertone, the same value and the same intensity. What are some of the other things we have heard as fashion rules? Like you can't wear white after a certain date. Now this very much stems from living in a snowy place, and you might find that if you live somewhere that it snows, white just isn't practical because it gets dirty very easily. But if you live somewhere where it doesn't snow, there's no reason why you can't wear white all winter. There is a word, like there's a colour winter white, which is, great in winter. Nothing wrong with white all year round if you are living somewhere that is not snowy and it's practical for you. It's got to be practical for you. And that's, why some of these rules have come around because of in some places they weren't practical, but they shouldn't be a rule that everybody has to follow. Another one might be thinking about that, you can't wear dark colours in summer or light, with light colours in winter as well. Really, whatever colours are the colours that are related to you are going to look your best. What's more important is rather than the colours being like seasonally appropriate, it's really more thinking about the weight of the fabrics. Wearing a really lightweight fabric in the middle of winter can look odd. Just as wearing a very heavyweight fabric in the middle of summer also doesn't seem to make any sense. But wear your palette of colours. You may go slightly darker in winter and slightly lighter in summer, but there's no reason why you can't wear those. What else? Mixing patterns. That patterns shouldn't be mixed. There's no reason why you can't mix patterns. There's just some really easy tips to follow if you want to mix patterns. Now, to be true to yourself, you have to be a creative personality to want to mix patterns. So thinking about pattern mixing, really the key is that you can have one large pattern with a small pattern. You can have a very dense pattern with a more sparse pattern, but the patterns always need to have colours in common. When they have colours in common, you'll actually find it's pretty easy to mix patterns. And a pattern like a stripe can basically be mixed with any other sort of pattern. So that's an easy one. If that is for you, if that is feeling authentic to you, then mix those patterns. And how about age appropriate? Now, this is something that is so kind of old fashioned in a way. I really think these days, what we want to do is wear clothes that feel like they are authentic to us. Age appropriate, like how old are you anyway? And these days we're all getting younger as we're getting older. Well, I like to think that I am. Age appropriate is a bit of an old fashioned term. And if you want to wear denim until you're 100, just like Iris Apfel did, why not? If you want to wear leather, if that's for you, do it. There is no real rules anymore about what you may or may not do as far as fashion goes and what is age appropriate. Really, it's being you, and those fashions feel like the best version of you. And, another one is like that you can't wear horizontal stripes. Now, what we need to know is that horizontal stripes are not all made equal. So the finer or narrower the stripe, the more it actually starts to act like a vertical line. It's just wider stripes are more widening. But if you are very slim, if you want to add more curves, horizontal stripes can be your best friend. Really, it's all about understanding the optical illusions things like horizontal stripes have, and then using them in a way that is appropriate for you, in a way that makes you feel happy. And last but not least, that you have to stick to one sort of style, that you have to box yourself into only being classic or only being bohemian or something. Really, you don't have to do that. This is also about being true to yourself. And some of us like to have a more varied style, like to be more feminine one day and more relaxed the other, like to be more dramatic some days, more creative another. There is no right or wrong. And so this is, if it feels like you, then go for it. What I see way too often is people boxing themselves in, and then this is where you get stuck in a style rut and you get bored, and it's because you've limited yourself too much to just one style. So hopefully there's some ideas of how you can break out of style rules and not take them too seriously and explore ways that feel comfortable for you, but also feel appropriate for you, your body and your style.